Hello everyone! Today we're going to start out with the first quest in the Tales of Newfound Adventure questline. So let's not dilly-dally too much, we'll go ahead and get started with Tales of Newfound Adventure. That starts off from this Radiant Scout in Radz-at-Han. Let's go ahead and talk to him and get started. Shadowed pasts. Something has this Radiant Scout unnerved. Ah, Mr. Scarmiglione. You couldn't have appeared at a better time. You see, while out patrolling the city, I chanced to sight a void scent. But this, by the way, this becomes available at the end of 6.2. Yeah, we're working through the 6.2 content. And if I recall correctly, at the very end, we saw this little, like, red with some eyes, gooey void scent thingy. And I think that's what this is going to be about. I immediately chased it down with the intent of eliminating it, but something about it struck me as odd. For one, it made no move to defend itself, but simply sat there, jiggling. Which is why, against my better judgment, I decided to capture it instead. Having traveled to the void, I dare say you have considerable knowledge of its denizens. If you have a moment, might I trouble you for your opinion on the creature's unusual behavior? Sure. I mean, to be honest, we learned in 6.2 that Void Scent can just come back to life. So, but that's only if they're in the 13th, right? Something like that. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue. I'm truly grateful. Now, if you would follow me, the creature is being held in the Hall of the Radiant Host. Oh, okay, where all the role quests are. Alright, let's roll and run on up to Megaduta Aetheryte and teleport over to Radiant Host. From the tiny bit I read on the quest description, looks like we're just gonna have to search the city for these things or something like that. Oh, not this door. That's where the role quests are. We need to actually go into the Hall of Radiant Host. I haven't been over here before. Ah, there he is. Sullen-eyed Void Scent. The Void Scent glowers in your direction, but says nothing. I don't know if he can say anything. Here it is. Surprisingly docile, even when I captured it, and there have been no reports of attacks prior to that. Even so, it's the nature of Void Scent to prey on people for their ether. Perhaps it bides its time, waiting to carry out some manner of scheme. I remember you. Yes, you were at Troya. Please, you must help me. What do you need help with? You were at the castle? Oh, you do understand me. I understand the mortal tongue well enough, but I don't have a mouth to produce the sounds. It's been a struggle to convey my thoughts. But not anymore. You can help me. Yes, you can. You can converse with the Void Scent? Amazing. Could you ask it why it came here? When you and yours stormed the castle, I was caught up in the fighting and died. Oh. How unfortunate. In time I returned, but I tire of fighting, so I fled, using the gate to your world. Having just been reborn, however, my essence hasn't fully bound together yet, and so when I emerged from the gate, it was several sundered selves. Oh, okay. That's why we have to go search for multiple things. Frightened and confused, they scattered. Following their trail led me here, my diminutive size allowing me to remain largely unseen. But by the same token, I can do little more than sneak about. Each of us was weak and powerless. That's why we consumed one another in the first place. Together we were strong. I want you to help me find all of me, so that I can be whole again. You wish to strike a bargain, then? What did you intend to do in this world? Yeah, that's probably a better question. Why, live here, of course. I've always wanted to. What? We still remember the past, you see. Still remember when we were mortals. Oh, that's interesting. We long to have that life again, but we need your help. Starting by reuniting us. We won't try to devour anyone, even if we're whole. I swear. I don't know. That's pretty sus. You wish to learn more about the Void, yes? There's much we can teach you about those who ruled its domains, about their past. Ooh, that might be helpful. Find the others, and they'll tell you all they know. No eating, no tricks. Do we have a bargain? So it crossed over to our world to escape conflict, and it now searches for the rest of itself? I understand Voidsent are quite reliable when it comes to fulfilling a pact, and I dare say having one as an ally would benefit our research into their world. We already have 0, why do we need this thing? Very well. If you would be so kind as to search for its kin, I will consult my superiors on how best to deal with them. By that, I take it we have a bargain. Good, good. I sense 4 others close by. When you find them, you need only point them in this direction. Once they sense my presence, I can guide them the rest of the way. Okay. Like me, the others have an interest in the lives of mortals. They are bound to be here in the city. My thanks again for your help. If you could see the other Voidsent back here, I will tend to the rest. Are you sure about that, bro? You sure you got this handled? Anyway, let's head on out here and try and find the first one. Looks like there's one, yeah, right here. Is it going to be really obvious or, yeah, it's really obvious. Wayward Hecti. What's that? I asked you to search for me in exchange for knowledge about powerful Voidsent. I was still wanting to see this and that, but I suppose a deal's a deal. Those men over there, soldiers, are they not? We used to have soldiers in our world too. There were lots of them during the Contra Memoria. That's right, that was like the war before the 13th happened or something. Before everything got consumed. Ah, back from Weaver's warding, are you? I hear you fought well against the Voidsent that slipped through. Come now, I merely did my duty. Haven't we all sworn to protect our nation, no matter the cost? Protect our nation. How familiar. Those words, where was it that I heard them? Ah, yes. It was the early days of the Contra Memoria. The enemy had conjured a terrible Eidolon. I guess it's Eidolon. That laid siege to a fortress. The garrison was made up of ordinary soldiers, men and women with no remarkable abilities, but led by the valiant commander. They fought bravely and desperately. They had to last until the Moriat arrived. The commander told them needed to hold out no matter the cost. A Moriat did eventually arrive, but not soon enough for the soldiers. Having struck down the Eidolon, the Moriat and his servants searched the castle for survivors. They found only the dead. But just when they had given up all hope, a faint groaning reached their ears. They rushed over to the sound and cleared away debris. To find a lone survivor, the garrison commander— oh, that doesn't sound good. Instead of joy, however, the sight of the man filled them with anger. Yeah, why did the leader live? Your soldiers are slaughtered to a man, yet they're barely scratch on you. What is the meaning of this? The Eidolon was savage, but mindless. It was a simple thing to hide myself beneath the fallen debris, bruh. hide? As commander, you had a duty to your men. You were supposed to put their lives before your own. Spare me. My duty wasn't to ensure the fortress stood, and it did. Besides, my death would have achieved nothing. Honor be damned. No, I'm sworn to protect our nation, and to do that I must live, and it isn't my fate to fall here, sir. It isn't your fate, you say? It's a little bit of a waste, but I understand where he's coming from. Is he merely unconscious? Come, let's bury the soldiers, and the commander with them. Fate shall decide what becomes of him, whether he lives or dies. Very well, my lord. Funeral rites were later held for the fallen, but solemn tears quickly gave way to horrified screams as a body emerged from the earth. The commander. I can't die. I must live, the man said to have declared. The people thought him a demon, a disheveled horror, muttering curses all he wandered off to regions unknown. Oh, that was Scarmiglione. Okay. Okay, that was the one of the void sent that we fought in Troya. Scarmiglione, they called him, a name befitting his newly found grisly visage, a name befitting a monster. We thought we buried him deep, but a mortal's desire to live is not to be underestimated. You're immortal, so I expect you understand that desire. Yeah, I understand that. Well, that concludes my tale. I'd best rejoin myself, if you'll excuse me. That's funny. Okay, where's the next one? Okay, let's go over to Meredy next. See if we can share a drink with one of them. Alright, where are you? Oh, there he is. Hiding behind there. Watching the dance, right? Sir. You should be a little more discreet than that. So this is where the mortals consume ether. Dreading loneliness more than hunger. How very like me. If you don't mind, though, I'd like to observe the mortals a while longer. I guess that's fine. The food here is simply sublime. Why, I feel stronger with every bite, as if the Murga themselves were granting me their blessing. The food is tasty. That's true enough, but no food is so sublime as to be a substitute for proper training, my friend. Stronger with every bite, every feed. For my part of the bargain, I will tell you about how we Voidsent become strong. Simply put, it depends on the quality and quantity of ether we harbor. When the world was consumed by darkness, the heroes known as the Memoriates arose as powerful Voidsent. In contrast, the vast majority of mortals, powerless and unremarkable as they were, became ordinary Voidsent, like me. There were exceptions, of course, but one in particular I'll never forget. Who's this gonna end up being? Scarmiglione. Never had I seen a Voidsent so craven. Even when pushed to the brink of starvation, he would prey only on those weaker than himself. What? Yeah, that sounds normal. He subsided on scant leavings, and lived in constant fear and hunger. In the face of danger, a void sense stronger than himself, fleeing was the only option. But a day came when he found his way was barred. How pitiful. Ah, yes, Skullbez. Such overwhelming ether. Who is this? I guess we don't know his name yet, do we? Oops. You fled instead of facing your foe. Why? Why? I'm too weak. Why else? I would have been devoured. So had you enough strength, you would have stood your ground. Very well then. What's happening? Yes, I feel it! The power swelling within me! Lo, your foe returns. What have you done to me? I granted but you a sliver of ether. 'Twas with power you already possessed that you defeated your foe. I possessed such power? Fear had clouded your eyes, blinded you to the strength you had attained feeding on the weak. If you would free yourself from fear, then join me. You shall have a greater cause to live for and know true power. Curious how, in a world without death, then the fear of it could be the key to grant strength. The knight recognized this, recognized the Void Sense potential, and thus did he take him into his service. Determined as he is to live, it wouldn't surprise me if he was still somewhere out there. He'd be even more powerful now, I expect, from all the devouring he would have done since. Unlike your world, eating actually makes you stronger in ours. Well, I must be going now. The others are waiting. That was interesting. We're getting a lot of information on Scarmiglione. We're gonna learn about Barbara. Then again, we only just saw her at the very end, so it might just be some more Scarmiglione or just general stuff. Because it looks like they're using him as a means to explain some more interesting stuff about Void Scent. Okay, let's see. The next one's over in the the residential area. There he is. We're gonna learn about, like, where they live and their habitat. My other self grows lonely, you say? My apologies. It was my intent to seek out the others, but I was distracted by the bickering pair of mortals yonder. My goodness, but there's been some colorful language, oh my. To hells with your father! You shouldn't need his permission to leave the goddamn house! Please mind your language. What would father say if he were to hear you? Ugh, it's always father this, father that with you. I'm sick of it. You're your own woman now. Bloody act like it for a change. Colorful language, yes? Not from the girl, though. Oh no, she appears to be quite well bred. I just hope she's happier than a girl I knew long, long ago. Okay, yeah, we're gonna learn about Barbara now. That girl was born into a family of thugs who suddenly found themselves nobility. She was raised as a noblewoman and had servants tending to her every need. But in the end, she was merely a beautiful bird kept in a gilded cage. Wanting her to be a proper lady, her parents presided over all aspects of her life. They decided everything for her, telling her what to say and do. Chafing from the fetters of her restrictive life, she solicited her handmaiden's aid and stole outside the manor, where she enjoyed a moment of bliss unbeknownst to her parents, or so she thought. It was not long before her father dragged her back to her room, barring the door and windows, denying even the simple pleasure of the afternoon breeze. Even a bird in a cage may chirp freely, but she wasn't even suffered to give voice to her desires. But she would be deterred. Having once tasted sweet freedom, she yearned for more, and one day she succeeded in sneaking out of the manor a second time. You're late. I was beginning to think you wouldn't come. If you're expecting friends, I'm afraid they're not coming. Did he kill the friends, really? Father! How did you... What do you mean they're not coming? I had known that some miscreants were cavorting in these parts, but to think that they dared try consort with my daughter... Well, you needn't worry about them anymore. They're food for the fishes now. Yeah, I mean, it said before that they used to be thugs, so it doesn't surprise me that he would do this. But seriously, bro, really? How could you do this, father? Why must you torment me so? Know your place, girl. You are means for our family to gain influence, and I won't have you sullying yourself with riffraff. She's got the eyes. The green. You will not leave your chambers save with my permission, nor will you disobey me again. If you do so, there will be severe consequences. Am I understood? I don't think you're the one that understands, bro. I said, am I understood? To hell. What did you say? Bro, didn't you just just fight a bunch of people and you were a thug? I said go to hell! Didn't he just beat up a bunch of people? How did he get beaten by her? Really? That's a bit of a stretch. Like, I understand if she got, like, the jump on him, but that looked like it was, pretty easy. Oh, man, they actually kept the axe in his head. They just cut it off a little bit. Oh, to think that it could be so exhilarating to speak my mind, to do as I please. No more living in a cage. From this moment on, I am free, free as the wind. The young woman struck out on her own, and in her travels discovered her true calling. not in the halls of lords and ladies, but on the battlefield. She became a force of nature, famed for her striking beauty, which belied a terrible savagery. Belied? I think it was belied. And with this new life, she also claimed a new name, Barbara. It's Barbariccia, but I call her Barbara. Indeed, she found her freedom, but did she also find happiness? I wonder. I suppose I'll never know, nor does it matter, for the world that once was is no more. Oh, but goodness me, I'd better rejoin the others. Okay, we got one more to go. Oh wait, can I actually talk to them? No, they're not talkable. Or, yeah, they're not interactable. Well, let's head on over to the airship landing and take care of the last one. There's the airship landing, right? Yeah. Let's see, where are you? Over here? Yeah, there he is. Oh, there's Zero. Hold on, let's talk to her first. The way the sky changes color with the passage of time, it's probably a mundane thing to you, but to me, it's a marvel. I dare say I won't soon grow bored in this world. Wonder how many people actually found her there in 6.2. Ah, what a refreshing breeze. I'm to return to the others. Bah, they should come here. Would you look at this beautiful boundless sky? Mortals take to their air from here, do they not? Would that I had wings to soar among the clouds myself. But we Voidsent are not wont to roam, you see. The mighties among us carve out domains, while the rest of labor to stay in their good graces. Now, the master of a domain seldom ventures outside, for it is in one's territory that one is strongest. For some, however, such confinement proved trying, as was the case for a certain Voidsent I knew. It's gonna be Barbara again, or I guess that's the only other Voidsent we know besides Scarmiglione. I speak of the free-spirited terror Barbariccia. When she first established her domain, she whiled away the days waiting for her minions to bring her prey. The aether amassed from these offerings was devoted to the singular pleasure of caring for her silky, flowing locks, but the resources of her domain were not without their limits. It was only when none remained to oppose her that she realized she was a prisoner in her own domain, and unless she broke free, she would inevitably wither away, alone. Not knowing what to do, she had fallen into the depths of despair. When the hand of salvation came to pull her out, right, now we're gonna get the mysterious Black Knight again, or Dark Knight. At this rate, my precious hair will fizzle and fray. Had I only the strength to leave my domain. If strength is your desire, that is easily granted. Who are you? Ah, so much power surging through me! And what will you do with it? What is your desire? What I desire? What I desire is... you would move your very domain. Impressive. That I can do such a thing. What have you done to me? I granted you ether, nothing more. It was your will that made it possible. My will? Even so, no matter where you should go, there is naught but darkness. What could your destination possibly be? Destination? I have no need of such. I wish to be free, like the wind. In a world that has met its end, where indeed is the soul who desires freedom so ardently that she could will her very domain to move. Recognizing this quality, the knight would grant her more power and a place of command in his mighty army. A story worth our bargain, I trust. I might have had more to tell had I not fallen off her domain. It seems you mortals also have a fondness for flying. I'd certainly like to try riding one of those airships of yours. But perhaps another time. My other selves will be a blubbering mess if I don't hurry and rejoin them. You have found the last of the void scent. Time to head back to the Hall of the Radiant Host. Okay. I wonder if those blobs were there and you would have been able to see them at least, maybe even interact with them had I not started this quest. Oh well, can't tell anymore. Let's head back. All four of them there. The void scent are all present and accounted for. So long as they remain here, we needn't worry about panic among the townsfolk. Yeah, that's true. So they're all going to combine into a four-eyed beast or something. Thank you so much for finding me. I hope the knowledge I had to share was worthy of our agreement. More than worthy, I'd say. They told me about Scarmiglione and Barbariccia. How did you come to know the Archfiends? Yeah, that's a better question. My other selves lived quite disparate lives, both as mortals and void-sent. Though I suppose it is rather fortuitous that they crossed paths with such powerful void-sent. But more importantly, what they could offer was worthy of our bargain. For that, I am glad. All that remains now is for us to rejoin and become whole again. Huh? Is this not all of me? There can be no other explanation. There's still more of me lost out there somewhere. But I don't sense them. Where could they have gone? Well, that's odd. Do you mean there's more of them wandering about? By the sisters! At the very least, if what you say is true, they pose no threat to the people. Until the others can be found, we will keep these 5 under our care. Should I sense the others nearby, I hope we can count on you to find them too. Okay, sounds good to me.